lunch yesterday? I think it's so cool that Baker's chill about that.
Well, I think that's stupid.
I think you're stupid!
Yes, I think that children should be able to bring a Bible or other material of their religious preference to school to read during their free time. It's still freedom of religion in this country, and it's also freedom of speech.
Yes, I think it would be like being able to use any other book during their free time, like a comic book or a fictional book, to read, and I don't see why it wouldn't be acceptable.
Yes, it is perfectly fine for public school students to read the Bible during lunch or free time. There was no rule, law, anything against that period. They can bring any reading material they want.
Religious materials in school would be deemed inappropriate if for some reason it kept children from learning in that situation. So regardless of whether it was the child who is reading the materials or if it was the children surrounding that child reading materials, everything should be conducive to a learning environment.
I think it would become inappropriate if it was distracting to the curriculum or taking away from the curriculum and the students were completely taken off task. Then I can see where a teacher might have a problem with that.
Generally, there would be no circumstances where reading material should be removed from any classroom. Any personal books from home or any personal reading material is perfectly allowed, as long as it's not disrupting class time.
Children in public schools should be allowed to pray over their food and any other time of which they feel is appropriate. Now, appropriate means it's not going to be disruptive to any other students in the classroom. So moving about the classroom in order to pray would be different than having a moment of silence over their food. When I was in school, we always had a moment of silence at the beginning of the day, and it wasn't even a religious thing. Silence is just that, silence.
Yes, I think they have that right to be able to do that. I think the school system would be okay with that as long as they weren't, like I said before, creating a scene to where it's distracting other people. But yes, I think it's your right to be able to pray over your food.
Usually, I don't think so. Most religious material and prayer cannot be banned from any classroom or school activity, period, as long as it is student initiated. Unless, of course, it was disruptive, and then the teacher has the right to take it away from them for the class period, and that's it.
A student's right to pray in the classroom would be restricted if, in any cases, that child in the process of praying was disruptive to the class or impeded other students from learning in that classroom environment.
I think it would be restricted if it was causing a distraction to the curriculum, because students can bring up prayer and can talk about God in the classroom as long as it's student-led.
Yes, students do have the right to pray in school. There's no holds on any students and their religious beliefs. The only difference is teachers cannot initiate religious conversation in school, but students can.
This is really a hard topic, because what I think has happened as a former teacher is that in many cases parents thought that the school was trying to teach or allow or influence their children in some sort of a religious way, and they felt it was their responsibility at home to be part of that religious development. In other ways, it became disruptive because some groups of children did not learn or were not taught at home in the same way as other groups of children. Where I think there's been a mistake made is that children need to be fostered in a friendly atmosphere that is accepting but is not as restrictive as we currently are. I think we're a little bit too oversensitive to everyone's needs, and we need to be a little bit more open to the ideas that everyone has and their upbringing.
Well, I think it originated as a completion, I guess some people would say, of separation of church and state. And so if the church and state are really separated, then public schools, as part of the state, cannot be affiliated with or do anything religious. So it was just a completion of that.